Good day, everybody. Welcome back to the flight deck. Okay, we're going to try this again. Kind of 0 for 2 on my flight since I got back from holidays. We had the pressurization failure on Friday, and we had the sim crash on yesterday. So I've made some changes, adjusted some settings, got a little bit of professional sort of help, and we'll see how we do today. Aspiring Aviator, welcome. Yes, this is a long flight. It's about 14 hours. I'm not streaming the whole thing. We're going to stream until we reach cruise. At that point, I'll turn the stream off, and then in about 12 hours from then, I'll come back online, and we'll stream the landing and stuff into Miami. But I will show you the route we're going to be taking before we go. And joining us on this marathon adventure is Kevin. He's off in the distance there in the Antonov AN225. So it should be a good flight. We are fully loaded. We have 163 tons of fuel and 62 tons of cargo on board. We are behind schedule on the F1 series, obviously, since I was away, but we'll try to make up the flights as we go and get back to where we are in sync again. So let's hop on board, and we can start getting the aircraft set up since it is cold and dark right now. So here we are on board the aircraft, and as mentioned, it is absolutely quiet on board. Nothing is turned on, so let's take care of that now. So we're going to pop up here, come up to the battery, turn the battery on, and standby power switch is going to go to auto. It brings everything online. External power we're going to hook up. There we go. And we will now start to align the 3 IRSs are all set to nav. Hydraulic demand pumps, we're going to come down here and make sure they are currently off until we get ready to pressurize the hydraulic system. We'll make sure the parking brake is on. Landing gear lever is confirmed down. Fuel flat position lever is 0 and showing retracted. Fuel control switches for all 4 engines are in cutoff. Anti-ice is currently off. Oxygen is checked. Emergency exit lights are armed, and altimeters. We'll grab the weather. Hello, Martin. How are you doing today? Current weather here in Azerbaijan at Baku is, and I'll put it into the chat. There we go. Winds are 040 at 6 knots. Ceiling and visibility are okay. 23 degrees and 1009. So we will set that now. We'll switch that over to HPA, and 1009 is set. Make sure that's in the, or will be in the standby as well. There we go. That's now come online. 1009 is set, and we are cross-checked, so that is good there. So we now come down to the FMS, and we'll get that up and running. So we can take a look. Our nav data is current to June 14th. It's all good. The engines and aircraft model and identifiers are good. This is actually the passenger variant, the 747-8i, but the wonderful livery guys at Fly UK have done a cargo variant skin for it, so it looks like the freighter, which is pretty cool. And you can see how much fuel we're actually carrying. Our center tanks are pretty full. Just the stab tank is empty. And yeah, we can start getting everything set up from there. So over to position initialization. And we're going to take the GPS position and insert it, and we are set. We'll come over to our route, and we're going to request our route. It is a long route. And we will load that in and activate it and execute it. And of course, we've got an error. That's going to make this interesting. Partial route uplink. It doesn't like... I don't know where it is taking me. Party. Yeah, it's doing a bunch of directs. Direct to bar there. It's missing that whole first section of the route. Let's see where it's going to take me. I'm just looking. We may just go with it. I'm just watching to see where it's got me going. Sin INDB. And then up to XN. Yeah, it's cutting out chunks of it. This is unfortunate. On Amrax. Sorry, I'm just comparing it to the XN. Where is XN? Looking for some of these other waypoints. Hello, Brados. Thanks for dropping by. OKG. Where is OKG? Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, it was in Italy, right? They had torrential rains or something, if I remember right. They're just trying to figure out where some of these waypoints are. Let's see if I can track backwards. Shaggy. There's Raffin. And we've got the Arc. Dinma. Okay. So we're sort of doing the route. It's just doing a bunch of directs, no airways. Felka, Oxlaw, D-Nut. Yeah, we're not too bad on the route, so we'll go with that as it stands. And we will take a look at the rest of it. So let's get in here. We'll do our departure. We're going off runway 35 here. Winds, as I said, are just out of the northeast. So runway 35's off the Racid 1 Delta departure. There we go. And we'll execute that. And if we go to our legs, look at our departure. Back to our legs. It doesn't even have that in there. So can I, let's see if I can do this. RASAM. Will it let me do anything there? I almost don't want it. No, I'm not even going to bother. Don't know how well this would accept it. So we'll go to our arrival. I'll put in what's active right now, but that's probably going to change by the time we end up getting there. So departures are in. Sorry, we'll execute that. Let's go back there. Index, departure. Let's try this again. 3-5 and RACID is good. We'll execute. And for some reason, it's not giving us an arrival. It's actually looped us back around to the entry point. So, how do we fix this? Route destination is Kilo MIA. Put that in there. Departure. Arrival. We want 26 left, the ILS 26 left, and we're going to go in on the Bonefish to arrival. And it will be via Snaggy. And we will transition out at Zilby. All right. So go back to our legs. Yeah, put that there. So Snaggy, Hovax, Jore, Mog, Walp. Half of this is all the arrival. Chicken Gill, Energy, Wosa, Cast, Bonefish, Ocean, Bondi, G'day, Rhodes, and then we're over to Zilby, Sidon, Basho, Angler, and the runway. Okay. So that is entered in, so I'm going to show the route just so everyone knows where we're supposed to be flying. It's going to be more or less that way. Let me bring up the charts. There we go. So we're currently here in Azerbaijan on the coast. We're going to be taking off to the north. We're going to make a left-hand turn. We're going to head out this way up towards the east. Come back out over here. Over the, I guess this is the Black Sea. We're going to make a turn to the northwest, coming up over Europe. As you can see, over the Belgian-French area, southern England. Sorry about that. I couldn't get to the meet in time. Southern England, south of Ireland. We're going to come down over the Atlantic towards Raffin, and then we're going to cut a little bit further south, coming down the eastern seaboard into Shaggy. At which point we'll do the arrival, and we're going to swing around and do the landing into Miami. That could change. We could end up coming in the other way, but we'll see how the weather is in 14 hours. If the sim doesn't crash on me again. So that is where we stand right now. And we are loaded and we can carry on. So before start, the FMS, oh, let's do our performance stuff for takeoff, since that's all entered in now. We can do our performance. Our reserve fuel for today's flight is, just give me my reserves, 4.6 tons. We'll put that in. Our cruise alt, initial cruise alt today is going to be 280. We do have a bunch of step climbs to do. Cost index of 90 as well. We'll do our thrust limits. We're all good. Can't really change much of that at the moment. Hopefully the new update will give us a little bit more flexibility in here. And flaps, it's going to be a flaps 10 takeoff. And center of gravity is 19.5 and 164, 181, and 194 for departure. Now, can I do a flaps 15? No. Well, we'll go flaps 10. Runway's long enough. We should be good. And I leave my fuel here on the center, so we are all good there. Let's do a quick radio check. See that everything is up and running. Baku Terminal, Skyways 5556, radio check.
555, how many for engine of whatever?
Loud and clear.
Thank you very much.
Alright, so Kevin's up as well, so that is good. Alright, so the FMS is all done, so hydraulic demand pumps will now all come on. Fuel load, our fuel load is good. We can see down here, if we look, total fuel 164.3 and our gross weight of 447.7. So that is good. Bring on the fuel pumps themselves. We're running all the pumps except for the stab pumps. The stab tank, if we look down, is currently empty, so we don't need to worry about that. Alright, we can now turn on the APU. So all the pumps are up. Alright, and we will make sure we have our lights on. Let them know we're starting to crank things up here. You can hear the APU winding up. Looks like the sun is going down. And we'll bring online the APU generators. They are now both up and running. I'll put on the beacon lights. Actually, we'll set it to both. Doors are all closed, and just for sake of completion, passenger signs will go to on. Oh, no, we have no passengers. Window heats will come on. And we can get ready to go. So the APU bleed is currently on. Engine bleeds are off. Fuel pumps are all on. Lights are on. And we are good to get ready to start. We're going to turn off the external power. Do a quick check outside. Everything is ready and disconnected. There's the generator there, and we can call for our.
This parking is too small for your aircraft.
No. Call for pushback. Looks like Kevin's starting to turn around and get ready to taxi.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
Alright. So we'll start engine 3 first, then engine 4, and then once those two are up and running.
Number 137 Foxtrot, we're taxiing to runway 35, taxiing via Alpha for Amsterdam, Foxtrot 13.
We'll do that, and then we'll be able to start 1 and 2 together at the same time.
Departure check Skyrim Pellited. Bypass pin inserted.
Sounds like they are doing stuff down there. Oh, I heard something go dingle. Waiting to see. Oh, there we go. Hey, Beanie Basher, thanks for the follow over on Twitch. Appreciate it.
Locking gear.
All right, gear is being locked. We're going to do our FCP setup quickly while we're here. It's a heading of 353, so we're going to make that 353. And we're going to set an initial climb of 12,000, and we'll set 28,000 once we're up and going, and 200 is fine. For pushback, we are going to want to push our tail. Let me just take a look at this name where we're sitting. We want our tail to go to the right and nose to the left.
Release parking brakes, please.
So release.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at wheel.
All right, starting engine at number 3. Starter is pulled. There we go. Push is commencing. We should be almost immediately making the push. Hey, Beanie Basher. Okay, you switched over to YouTube. Yeah, it's can be a lot better. Thanks for coming by, and Evil Rockin'. Hi, welcome to the stream. Alright, so we got the engine 3 is starting to spin up. I'm just watching where we're going. We want to hit this line here, so we're going to watch to make sure that they bring us around onto the taxi line. They should. If we don't, we will have to stop because we don't want to back up into... You know, it looks like we are not going to make that turn. So we're going to stop here.
Please set parking brakes.
And we'll set the parking brake here.
Awaiting your confirmation for a good engine start.
Alright, starting engine number 4. Alright, 0.5. Once it hits about 1, we'll kick it in. She climbs kind of quickly after that. There she goes. Here, starting to speed up. So I haven't watched any of the videos. I know 737NG driver has released a... Hey, R. Moore, thanks for the sub. Greatly appreciated. And the new update to the avionics and everything should be pretty good. We'll see how that plays out. It's a good start on those two. Let's get engines 1 and 2 up and running as well. Alright, so those engines are winding up. There we go. Fuel on. See, our fuel is now coming out of the center tanks. So we're going to drain the center tank, and then we'll switch over to the inner mains, and then once the inner mains are the same as the outer mains, we'll balance off that. Got a little video up on the channel on how all this works, so if you're interested in how the fueling system works, it's there is a video on it. So we got starter switch cut off, so we are good there. So APU, let's go back up top here. We're going to turn on the engine bleeds for all 4 of the main engines. The APU selector is going to go to the off position. APU bleed's going to come off. Packs are all on, and we have air. A recall status is clear. Reference speeds is 164 and 194 is set. Flaps, we're going to set flaps 10. Flaps 5, 10. Trim is set. Flight controls, we'll do a flight control check. So full left, full right, neutral, full forward, full back, neutral, full left rudder, full right rudder, neutral. Put that back on the fuel. Auto brake set to rejected takeoff. Window heats are already on. Vital data is set. Packs are on. Cabin notification not required. Flight director is coming on. Auto throttle we'll do in a second. Taxi light will come on. And the FCP is set. Baku area traffic, Skyways 5556, taxiing runway 35 via Bravo 1 Hotel, Alpha holding short 35. Alright, so.
Baku traffic at Baku 137 Foxtrot is taking
On pitch of ground. We have good engine start. You can disconnect.
Alright, so there's Kevin over there. They're disconnecting the tug. Forgot about that. That's why I popped outside to check. So this will give us a little bit of spacing for Kevin to get out ahead before we take off. So I am planning on doing a graphics card update at some point this summer, going up to a 4000 series from the 2000 I'm running. But hopefully the little adjustments I made and stuff will help with the issue that came up yesterday. And that, I think that's the fourth time that I've had that, which was annoying.
Left is clear, right is clear.
Alright, we're just waiting for her to walk away. There she goes. So I'm not sure what side she's going to. She should come out over here. There she is. Turn around, show us the pin. We'll give her the thumbs up that we're good to go. And she will depart. Alright, there's the pin. And we are good to go. So brakes released. Come up on the engines. We are heavy. It's going to take a bit to get us going here. Basically going to swing around in position. Kevin's getting lined up. Looks like we got an LOD issue with his airplane. It should have a little bit more detail than that. If he waits for us to get a little bit closer, we can hopefully get a better look at him. That's a little bit better. Some of the more details come in. Alright, so we'll get ourselves around the corner here and then we can do our pre-takeoff checks. We've got a big nose here, so we're going to stick over the line slightly. Alright, so we're stopped. So, landing lights are on, turn-off lights are on, taxi light will come off, beacons are on, strobes are on, nav lights are on, wing lights are off. We'll put them on. Logo lights are off, that's fine. Everything is set there. Packs are on. APU is off. Batteries are on. Auto brake set. Reject to takeoff. And flaps set to 10. So we're just waiting for that beast over there to get going. Yeah, Kev is flying the 225. Well, actually, he's sitting in it parked on the runway right now, but close enough. To be fair, he's got 6 positions in that cockpit he's got to manage, so it does take a little bit of work.
Baku traffic into Nabudo, 137 Foxtrot. We're rolling on the Rezo 1 Delta departure, November 35.
And there he goes. Baku area traffic, skyways 55, 56, taking position, runway 35, Baku. Yeah, this is the default 747 with the salty mod. It is the passenger variant with a custom skin from the virtual airline I belong to that makes it look like the freighter. But it is under everything, it is the default. So we're going to give Kev 2 minutes to get up and running. So that will allow us to get out here and get lined up. And we're going to take all the runway we can. There he goes. Climbing out majestically. Once again, we'll be streaming until we're in cruise at 28,000 feet. At that point, stream will end. Because this is a long one, and YouTube's actually got a 12-hour stream limit anyway. But we'll be back about 12 or 13 hours later for the briefing for our arrival into Miami. If the sim doesn't crash. That's the big kicker on that. So, if you come back tomorrow and there's no landing stream, well, that's what happened. Okay, let's get our range to 10 miles. That's set. Get our transponder on TARA. We'll set it for 2,000. We're not VFR in Europe. That's fine. That is set. Radials 122.8. Not that it matters since we're not using them. That's all set. We're all good down below. And there he goes. Baku area traffic, skyways 55, 56, rolling runway 35, departing to the west. Alright, brakes are set, engine's coming up to 40%. Auto throttles armed. And everything is good to go. Brakes released. Takeoff power set. Airspeed's alive. $80 knots. V1. Using the whole runway today. Rotate. Because we are heavy. There we go. Positive rate, gear up. Flaps 5. Feet. so we're gonna go Command A. We are going in heading select and VNav. Nose is coming down for acceleration. There's the coast and the setting sun. So I'm assuming we're going to be landing somewhere in the morning in Miami. We'll be flying over the Atlantic at night. 250 knots, flaps 1. And flaps fully retracted. Scroll out now. 80 mile. There's a big graphical glitch out on the water. And we'll come over to our legs page. We have our first waypoint. So at 5,000 feet we'll make the turn. Unfortunately we're not following the actual departure, but it's a issue with complex routing being brought into Sim. So we're going to switch over to LNAV now. LNAV is armed, and we're going to turn to intercept that course, at which point LNAV will take over. Thousand feet. Again, we are heavy. We're at pretty much close to max weight, and 164 tons of fuel and 62 tons of cargo. Baku area traffic, Skyways 55, 56, 15 miles to the north, turning on a westbound heading, passing through 8,000 feet, final transmission for Baku. Alright, over to standard pressure. And there she is climbing up. Looking very nice. There's the airport back over there. As soon as we hit 10,000 feet, we should see a jump up in our selected speed as we start to do our acceleration up to the high speed. There we go, 355. So we can come up top now. Lights can go off. Turn off lights will go off. And we'll turn off the wing lights as well. So strobes, nav, and beacon are all on. Everything else is off. That sun glaring in our eyes. We should intercept the course out here, and then that'll put us on to LNAV for the rest of the flight. Oh, let me see if this is working. Here. And let's put on some blues. Back to here. Well, there's 12,000 coming up. We're going to set 28 as our initial cruise. We do have a couple step climbs we'll be doing as we go. 5,000 feet. We're back coming up to the coast again. Just gonna check something. Give me a second. Wanted to make sure you guys were hearing the music. I don't hear that, so I just turned on the stream for a second, the volume, so I could hear it. All right, we're at our accelerated or high-speed climb rate of 355 knots, climbing at 2,300 feet per minute, passing 14,000 feet. Fuel is looking good. Everything is good. We're on LNAV VNAV. Still on Honey Select, but the LNAV is armed for the intercept. See some of the terrain we're coming up to. So a few changes coming up in the streaming schedule. We're looking at taking the Fly 2 out of rotation on Tuesdays and doing another tour. Looks like it's going to be a tour of Canada, actually, my home country, so that could be interesting. Got to do a little bit of setting up on that, and we'll see how that goes. And then once I get my handle on the ATRs, I think we're going to pause the Aurora flights for a little while and fly some ATR flights in Europe, around Britain and the UK for Highland Connect, and that'll be interesting. Get the turboprop out and have fun with that, see how that works. So that's coming up, but we're going to carry on with the US Capitals. Oh, excellent. How far away from you am I? Because I do not have a TCAS indicator for you. We're going to be continuing on with US Capitals flights in the Boeing 247Ds on Wednesdays. And Fridays, we'll switch over from Aurora in a few weeks to the Highland Connect. Mondays are going to continue with the round the world trips. Tuesdays will end up being the Canada series. Saturdays is going to continue with our around the Atlantic. We're unfortunately, due to the crash, we couldn't do the flight yesterday, so we're still down in Saint Martin. We have to fly up to Miami. That'll be next Saturday. And Sundays when I'm available, and when there's a scheduled, once we're caught up, when there's a scheduled flight for the series, we'll do the F1 cargo flights. Oh, you're 14 behind. Okay, that's going to increase then, because I know I am faster than you. So we'll have to see what happens. I do look forward to seeing what the update is going to do for this and for the 787 in the sim, how much more improved it's going to be. Hopefully it's made a big change. I'll have to watch some videos on the guys with doing the beta, and we'll see how it is. Still like to see the 787 come out as a third party, and 747 as well. That'd be pretty cool. And there's 20,500 feet, 7,500 to go. We should soon be clicking over onto the LNAV mode. Oh, I'm behind you, 14 behind you. Okay, I thought you were 14 behind me. Yeah. What's your initial flight level for cruise? I think my next, where's my flight plan? My next step is up to flight level 300, and that is at Sarpi. And that is going to be Petro Sarpi Olopu area. Oh yeah, okay. Over the Black Sea, we're going to be going up to 300. 9,144 meters. Oh, you're killing me. I can't do the math in my head. I take it that's 30,000 feet? No. 28,000 feet, maybe? For your initial? 30,000. Yeah, okay. I'm going to end up at 34 by the end of it. It looks like. Alright, so I see where I can do my step climbs. Again, just hope this thing keeps going. No crashes. So we're still on heading select, heading out to intercept that magenta line as we pass almost up to 24,000 feet. Just hop outside here. Take a look around. There's Caspian Sea, which we're leaving. And heading over the mountains here. Not sure which mountains these are. These are the ones that stretch down under the Caspian and then out towards Afghanistan. And they kind of run north up through Turkey and everything, so we'll see. Looks nice out there. Great night for flying. Oh, you go to 34 as well. Okay, so that's not too bad. Hope your weather's kind of showing the same as what I've got. Make it interesting. Alright, there's 25,000, 3,000 to go. We're down to a 1,200 foot per minute climb rate. Of course, we are one big heavy bird today. Oh, there we are. LNAV's kicked in. We're turning to intercept the line now. And we'll make the turn to the right in a second once we're onto the line. To 320 nautical miles on the ND. So we can see our route. And there's the turn. So hopefully with the new avionics update, we'll be able to import the more complicated SimBrief flight plans into 747. Be nice. But this is, you know, fair approximation. I was having trouble with the airways. Alright, 1,000 to go. There's the horn. Alright, you can see our estimated time of arrival. Although we're not yet at cruise speed, we're still at climb speed, but it's showing just around 2 a.m. Zulu. So we'll see what time I actually roll in. So not quite a 14-hour flight. I think I'm cutting off enough little sections. It's decreased the flight time here, but we'll see what happens. So that's us in cruise, 28,000 feet. We're doing Mach 8.6, and and we're going to carry on here and go for a bit. So we're going to be back in roughly 12 hours or so, so I can do the briefing for our arrival, and we'll go from there and do the arrival, approach, and landing into Miami on the next stream. Thanks very much for coming along and watching. We will see you all on the next one. Bye for now.